Hey, now we're live.
Yay! Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. We will do our usual pre-show jabbering.
Witticisms.
Yeah, witticism. Well, let's not set expectations too high now.
Too high for you, maybe.
Whoa, walked right into that one. But we are going to be watching Deep Space Nine this week, and we are watching season 5, episode 23,
One of Steve's
Blaze
favorite
of Glory.
episodes.
You know,
Another one.
actually, I don't know if I would call this one of my favorite episodes. This isn't a bad episode, but I don't know if I'd call this one of my favorites. But after this episode, we only have 3 more left in season 5. Can you believe it? We're almost done season 5 of Deep Space Nine.
It's been 84 years.
Are you ready to go back to Titanic? What? It's my Bill Paxton impression.
Forrest Gump being in the movie.
Are you ready to go back to Titanic?
Oh no, that's Effington. I was like, why is that song going through my head? No, that's something different.
Eddington.
Could be a wonderful Edding place. Wait, nope, that's different. Like, that doesn't seem to make I know that's not right. I loved Eddington until I read Prairie Fires.
H.B. Haga, I don't think he still has his Les Mis fixation. I would hope he learned his lesson last time, because that's the shit that got him caught. Because Cisco said, okay, you want me to be Inspector Javert? I'll show you Inspector Javert. And then he poisoned the atmosphere of an entire planet to catch him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he jumped off a bridge. Too soon? Might be
too soon. No, he sang a musical number that was out of his register, and then at the end the camera just craned up real high.
Like they do on every other number.
Like they do at the end of every single song in that fucking movie.
Oh.
Did you miss In the Cards? No, you did not, Kirok. No, In the Cards is 2 episodes away. So it won't be the next Deep Space Nine episode we watch, but the one after that.
Hey, Pedro. It's good to see you. I feel a little bit bad. I haven't been practicing Spanish, or haven't been practicing Portuguese, because I've been doing so much Spanish.
Steak Big Cat. And just to add irony, Cisco poisoned that planet on Stardate 24601. Oh, man.
0.1.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. David, do not waste a single moment of your life. Now, I haven't seen it live on stage, but I have seen the movie, the music. Now, if you're going to see a movie of Les Mis, see one of the movies that aren't a musical. See one of the movies that are just an adaptation of the fucking book, because there's a version from, I think, 1935, starring Frederick March as Valjean, and oh fuck, who was Javert? I can't think of his name.
Guy with the big nose?
Jimmy Durante?
No.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Actor who wasn't he in the Sadist movie?
Charles Lawton.
Nope, not him.
Who also directed Night of the Hunter, one of the greatest films ever made. But no, so yeah, see that one. That one's fantastic. That's a great movie. Frederick March as Valjean and Charles Lawton as Javert. That's and it's like 90 minutes. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
but yeah, see that one. But the musical movie is garbage.
as Azalea and Pedro point out, the title really is pretty clear. That's what it is.
It's not a happy story.
It's really not.
No.
It's this is what revolution is. Ding.
A series of down endings.
Well, no, I don't think that's entirely fair. It also has a down middle and a down beginning.
It's just depressing all the way through. It's like nobody thinks about, like, you know, the Russian Revolution and says, yeah, but you know what I really like? I like the really happy part.
Well,
It's like,
you
what
know,
would that be? That day?
I bet
the first
I
day
bet
in October?
no, later than that. I bet they have a lot of white Christmases. Oh, was that a Randall line?
Series of down endings. No,
Really?
wait, that was Dante. That was Dante. Yeah.
Dante's the whiner, the complainer. that's how I know.
Luke gets his hand cut off, finds out Vader is his father. Han gets frozen, taken away by Boba Fett. It ends on such a down note. And that's what life is, a series of down endings.
All Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets.
Oh, man. Dante.
Oh, man. I think, I don't even remember why we were talking about it. But it's just like, I feel that, like, I don't even know if it's more and more the older I get. But I guess it's because it doesn't get any less. I'm not even supposed to, but even if I'm supposed to, it's like, I don't even want to be here today. And here's the thing, like, that's the world. I just want to have about 2.5 weeks of not being. Just don't want to be for a while.
Can I just take a break?
Like, just temporarily.
Kirok, the menagerie will not be in the batch of courtroom episodes that starts tomorrow. There is going to be a second batch of because there are so many Star Trek courtroom episodes. There is going to be a second batch that I will do in coming years. And the menagerie is going to be in that batch. It's not going to be in this batch coming up.
Oh, I might have pizza. Hang on. I got pizza.
Go get pizza. Yeah, Snakebit Cat. I mean, the Animaniacs version is usually a safe bet. The Animaniacs, the only Animaniacs literary thing that I think has a superior animated version is The Raven, because Animaniacs did a version of The Raven that was pretty good, but it's nowhere near as good as the Simpsons Halloween special version of The Raven. That's just a masterpiece. I still think that's one of the best things the Simpsons has ever done. And they don't change the text at all. Like, that's what's great about it. Animaniacs, like, you know, they change the text to suit the characters and stuff. The Simpsons version doesn't change the text at all, which I think is brilliant, because they're still able to give it like the Simpsons tone and humor and attitude just without actually rewriting the poem.
Mostly on delivery, honestly. The animation does help.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did Animaniacs do, because it's totally right up their alley, the Elements song? I can't remember if they did. Tom Lear's Elements song.
I think so. I think they did, didn't they?
And that would be one, obviously, that you kind of wouldn't change.
Yeah. Well, okay, Air One Fire. Yeah, Bart as the Raven does say "eat my shorts" at one point, but that's one tiny little interjection.
Precision matters, Steve. Captain, yes, Jeffrey Rush. That's who I was trying to think of.
Jeffrey Rush, yes.
You know, the sadist guy.
Oh, right, because he was the Marquis de Sade in Quills.
Thank
yeah.
You. I was just like, I couldn't come up with any names, not of his name, not of somebody he'd been in a movie with, not of a movie he was in. I'm like, oh my God, I can see him in so many things, but I can't come up with him or its character or the movie title. Nothing. It's all gone.
Azalea Jane says, always nice to have an excuse to gush about Measure of a Man. Yeah, that's in this upcoming batch. Measure of a Man is in the batch. It's
Are
actually
you going to gush?
Probably it's a really good episode. Arguably the best Star Trek Courtroom episode. I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm reviewing it next week. That's next week's retro review. Tomorrow is Court Martial from TOS. But yeah, I mean, arguably Measure of a Man is the best Star Trek Courtroom episode. There is an argument to be made. There are other ones. There are other ones in this upcoming batch that are very strong rivals for that. But
and honestly, that's the only one that like I know of by title. And I'm sure I've seen some of them, but I mean, that's the one that I hear about.
Yeah. Air One Fire, Ad Astra per Aspera. That is a really good episode. I'm not reviewing that because it's retro reviews, and Ad Astra per Aspera is a Strange New Worlds episode, so it's not retro. And I don't know if it's better than Measure of a Man, but it's a really, really, really good episode. I mean, it's a fantastic episode.
So well, so it's not so much about time as it is the breaks in between, like classic Trek, our generation of Trek, and new Trek.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, the retro reviews are basically everything that was made before the current production era. So everything pre-Discovery. Discovery forward is, for my purposes, I'm not considering retro.
Onward.
Yeah.
Air One Fire is a good idea. This year we review only the least memorable Voyager and Enterprise episodes. Woohoo!
Yeah, that won't take very. How am I going to? That'll be about 20 different separate batches.
There you go. This year.
There you go. Because I try not to have each batch of reviews. I try not to have too many episodes in them because I want the whole point of doing the shows out of order and sort of mixing it up is to have some variety. So I don't want to be like, okay, now we're going to do 20 episodes in a row on the same theme. It's like that kind of defeats the purpose. So I try to vary it. And, if there's a lot of episodes that have a similar theme, then I do different batches and do them at, different times. Yeah. Enterprise and older, basically, David. Yeah. Yeah. So classic Trek, animated series, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. Those are the shows that qualify. And yeah, Carrick, I do plan on doing the Menagerie. Yeah. But again, not anytime soon. Probably, I think I have it. At the beginning of this year, I went ahead and mapped out all of the retro reviews for this year, and I think for next year too. And
wow.
Yeah. So I think the next batch of Courtroom episodes is even beyond that. So it'll be like 2 years before I do another batch of Courtroom episodes. Chris says, but Picard season 3, what about it? I'm not looking for excuses to watch it again. I mean, I could watch episode 4. Episode 4 of Picard season 3 is fantastic. The rest of the season, not so much.
Like, how did this happen?
It's like episode 4, because like episode 1 of Picard season 3 is so bad. I was like, oh man, we're in for it. Right. And then after that, it starts to get better, and then episode 4, it's like, holy shit, that was great. Like, it's a great episode. And then it starts trending down again in terms of quality. And then it just kind of falls off a cliff. And so the first episode of season 3 and the last episode of season 3 are 2 of the worst Star Trek episodes I've ever seen. Episode 4, which is almost exactly in the middle, is great, is fantastic.
It's almost like they plotted it out.
Yeah, now let's put a good one about halfway through.
It's like a bell curve.
Yeah, it really is. No, Captain Undiscovered Country doesn't count because I'm only doing TV episodes. And there's not, I mean, yeah, there's court stuff in Undiscovered Country, but I wouldn't call Undiscovered Country a courtroom show. I mean, there's a lot there's, you know, it's, you get Kirk and McCoy standing trial, but that's not most of the movie. That's like one scene, you know,
Yeah.
hour and a half movie. 255 AD says, I've not watched Section 31, but I have to imagine there's a lot of Trek fans who'll just jizz in their pants because it's set in the Lost Era. I mean, yeah, maybe, but there are also fans that I've seen who didn't like it specifically because it didn't make a bigger deal about being in the Lost Era. Because there aren't and that's one of the few things I really liked about it. Like, if you watch my review of it, I don't have a whole lot positive to say about it, but one of the positive things I have to say about it is that it's not just overflowing with like Easter eggs and references and gratuitous ties into the vaunted lore. Like, technically well, I mean, technically it's set in the Lost Era, but it really doesn't make a difference. Like, it could be set in any era, it doesn't matter, which to my mind is a good thing. Is an asset. But to people who are like super lore nerds who are like, finally some Lost Era stuff, like, they don't like it for that reason because, you know.
But my thought is, if you avoid the Easter eggs and the tie-ins and stuff, you actually get more story about the Lost Era, and that fills in more of the gaps. So theoretically, the lore nerds should be happy with fewer Easter eggs about stuff that they already know.
Right. Yeah. Now you know some shit that happened during the Lost Era. What are you complaining about?
Exactly. And I mean, you've got a limited time to tell the story. Any time that you spend making connections and that kind of thing is time that you are not, you know, adding details and adding lore.
Yeah. Azalea says Amanda Plummer was too good for Picard. Okay, so Jason and I reviewed Picard season 3 together, right? And the way we did it was we waited until we recorded it. We recorded our reviews on Saturdays. So we wouldn't watch the episode until we could get on a Zoom call together, and we would watch the episodes together for the first time. And then we would record our review like right after that. And so Jason and I were watching Amanda Plummer's first episode of Picard season 3 together. And she's like instantly the best thing in the show, right? Like, she's so good. And Jason actually is watching it. Jason goes, oh no. Because we were kind of in the mindset of, okay, this is going to be bad and we're going to have to review it as a bad show. And, you know, and we're sort of in that headspace. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, is she going to be good? And it kind of throws a wrench into it. And she is, I mean, she is good. But yeah.
I thought he was going a different direction than that, as in, oh, she's good. Okay, she's not going to last.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And as Philip points out, she lasts until episode 8, and then they chuck her out the window, literally, for like the most boring possible villain they could have picked. I mean, 255 AD says they had a younger version of I know they had Rachel Garrett, but like, you know, so it's set sometime before she becomes the captain of that Enterprise, but it's not, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, the year that the story takes place in isn't important, which I think is good.
Potato.
Yeah. Azalea says, have you seen Angela Collier's takedown of Picard? It's incredible, cathartic, much more rewatch value. No, I haven't, but I'll have to seek it out now that you've said that. I've never even heard about it.
In fairness, based on what Steve has said, Azalea Jane, that's a low bar. Or, as my daughter likes to say, that's a high bar in a limbo contest.
Nice.
Oh my goodness gracious. Nerds, 255 AD. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Such nerds.
I mean, sometimes because, you know, I talk about Star Trek a lot, I'm full of opinions. I know, right? Um, people, I mean, I think I've gotten this question on Askaway a few times. They say, like, if you created a Star Trek show, what era would you set it in? And my preferred answer is it doesn't matter. Like, I would want to create a show that it wouldn't matter what era it was set in. The only reason I might set it in, I think I said I might set it like roughly in the classic Trek movie era, just because I like those uniforms, and I would want to do, like, kind of my own variation on the monster maroon uniforms. But other than, and the general aesthetic of the ships, like, I like having like physical switches instead of touch screens and shit.
Oh man, those
But
punch
other
buttons.
than,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I like it when
Stuff.
I like seeing characters on screen doing things, like physically doing things,
Have
even
you
if it's, yeah, go ahead.
have you ever been in a house that had push button light switches?
The most of the switches here are flip switches, but the
Mhm.
light in what used to be Granny's bedroom is a push button switch, and I love it.
Love that. My grandfather's house
Yeah.
had that, and that just is such a satisfying clunch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, very much like the resonance, like physical weight, but also just like mass and inertia of like those old, kill somebody with receiver rotary phones,
Yeah.
with the added benefit that they don't give you a hangnail.
Good benefit.
Oh, my hand
Yeah.
is tired.
Oh, fuck.
Pedal
But
to the
yeah,
metal,
like,
Commander.
if I was making a Star Trek show, I would, and they probably wouldn't let me get away with this, because I think the studio would insist that I nail it down to a particular time period. But I would love to make the whole show and not even reference what time period it's set in. Like, who fucking cares? It's Star
Oh,
Trek times. It's sometime in Star Trek times. Like,
how much do you want the audience to piss you off? Because
well, see, that's why they wouldn't let me do it. They'd be like, but the fans are going to expect it to be. I'm like, oh, fuck the fans.
no, I was thinking past that point, when you're getting, you have to hire like extra associates to deal with all the fans' questions.
I mean, I can deal with the questions. You just
delete,
say,
delete.
You just say, watch the show, nerd. What
How
year
many
is
times?
it?
How many
What
times a
possible
day?
relevance is that?
How many times a day do you want to say that? And
Well,
I
I
say
mean,
this, I work with teenagers. This is the third time I have told you specifically not to create distractions. Your behavior is creating a distraction.
I would love
Next time,
I would love
you
to
get
say that to a I would love to say that to a Trekkie at a Star Trek convention. Your behavior is creating a distraction. I've asked you once to sit down.
In fairness, though, student did not have to go to the office. Did not actually get the work done. We had a pretty good day, and that's the freshman class. Good. So,
is that the class that you find exhausting, the freshman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think I told you, I got new students today. One in that class and one in the monstrous lit. The nice thing is, there are a couple of students who are no longer on my roster. I don't even know if they're going to school there anymore. They're just gone. Because usually they don't transfer classes at this point in the semester. So my class size, the freshman class was the smallest, and the largest one was the sophomore class. But now these two have had people added, and so I think my class sizes are like 24, 27, and 29. So they're a little bit closer to each other instead of being like 22, 28, and 29. So it's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just, and I'm like, do you have a Chromebook? They're like, nope. I'm like, okay, so what I'm gonna do with you? All right, so here is a stack of books, and I've adjusted my book question. So I start off with, if you had the choice between watching a movie and playing a video game, what are you gonna do? I say, and whichever one they go, I say, okay, what is a movie that you like? Doesn't have to be your favorite one, but just one that you like. Okay, what do you like about it? All right. And then based on that, I go and pull about 6 books out of my classroom library and say, okay, look through these. Look at the front cover, read the back cover, read the end flap if it's got it, and maybe the first 2 pages. And then I want you to make a stack. Don't put, right now they're in size order. I want you to put it with the best out of these books on the top and the worst on the bottom. And then we'll talk about why. And then they get the top book. So
it's a good system.
Yeah, Air, One, Fire, I'm overall really happy. They're not ideal, but I'm overall happy with my class sizes. I've had as many as 36 in an English class. Guess how much fun it is to grade those essays?
Oh my God. Well, shall we start the episode?
It is that time. So, do I get to explain?
Please, yes.
Well, Air, One, Fire, I started off in size order, but I need to know which book they like better and which ones they don't like as much. Because first of all, they can get their top pick. And then second, if they end up not liking that one, that gives me an idea as we talk about it of what I can recommend instead. But then I just put the books back on the shelf. Anyway, so make sure that you have your episode of Deep Space Nine, which is season 5, episode 23, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, good, because I said it and I hoped it was right. I remembered a thing. And so make sure you've got all the way to 00000. If you have an ad, we don't have ads, do we? I didn't see an ad.
I didn't have an ad when I played it just now, so. But you might, if you're watching.
If you have an ad,
yeah,
get past the ad and then pause it at 0000. And then make sure that you have your cursor right over the little play icon. And when Steve says play, he's going to go 3, 2, 1, play. When he says play, we'll play. And then we all watch at the same time. If something happens and you have to restart your computer or something like that, you can, once you're back, you can take a look at the time code up here and get back on with us. Ta-da!
All right. Oh, and 255 AD, I agree about Star Trek V. Shatner doesn't give a shit about the established world building.
There's a
God
lot
bless him. God bless him. It doesn't make it a good movie, but God bless him for that. Okay, here we go. Dana, you ready?
I am. You counting this in?
I'm just about to. Here we go. I'll count this in like Dana said, and we will watch Blaze of Glory. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Sorry you can't stay, David Hayworth. Was.
Thanks, Tom. Glad you could be here. Well, you are pretty short, Nog.
$255 AD. My thought is, it's dead animal. You are speaking. Oh,
Just punch him in the dick, Nog. You're right there.
hey, chaotic angel kitten. Read the pinned message. We're watching Deep Space Nine, but I mean, for copyright, we can't show it. Show it.
Yeah, it's a Deep Space Nine watch along.
You can't handle the proof.
Yeah, man, a great big war like that would be terrible. I hope that never happens. Oh, thank you, Northern Tommy. I'm glad you like those. They were more fun to review than they were to watch. Those Augments episodes. Well, but 25580, I think the idea was that the Klingons gave the Maquis the stuff when relations between the Klingons and the Federation
they weren't they weren't
were
treated at the time.
yeah, yeah.
Kara, my issue with that would probably be texture. Um, Sprinkles are kind of, they're a little bit crumbly and pasty, and locusts are often served dried, so they're really crisp. But what I think would be good is if you dried locusts and then you drizzled them with like caramelized sugar, so they'd be crunchy and like sweet on the outside. I think that would be good.
Candied locust.
Candied locusts, heck yeah.
Eat your caramel locust, kids. It's a special treat. Michael says, I haven't watched Deep Space Nine in years. The premise, forget about exploration and let's do the drama. Yeah, sort of. I mean, I like the analogy of if the original Star Trek was Wagon Train, then Deep Space Nine was more like the Rifleman, where it's about a character who comes to a frontier town and kind of has to establish law and order as opposed to traveling all over the Old West, you know?
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
But thanks for the exposition for folks who might not have seen the earlier episodes.
Tom, it still makes sense the other way around.
It was sent to your email address.
Well, it went into my spam folder. I didn't even know it was there.
You are Michael Eddington69 at gmail.com, aren't you?
Disappointed.
You're not even working out, dude?
I mean, I realize you don't have a lot of equipment, but you could do body weight exercises, calisthenics.
Do some push-ups. We could try that. I mean, there's time travel. People do all kinds of stuff. It's Star Trek.
What you really, really want? I mean, Carrie, if you read between the lines in the Little House books, it's pretty clear that, you know, Laura's affection for her father, you know, influenced the narrative.
that you were talking to him about.
Well,
Hi.
Kara, if that's true, I mean, she really soft pedaled it.
Just put the plate down, dude.
If there's one thing I know, it's that you rebellion types are very resourceful. I mean, maybe in space. Well, let me tell you, come like summertime around here, everybody's trying to get rid of tomatoes and zucchinis.
Eddington needs to worry about where his next lay's coming from instead of worrying about his next tomato plant.
Kara, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about the influence of her daughter, but yeah. I don't really want to do the work today. I don't really want to do the work today. Karen, not always true. I mean, you can make a profit if you're willing to exploit your workers. There we go with that enunciation.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
Yeah, HB Haga. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Caitlin. Well, glad you could stop by real quick anyway. What's with this working headbutt shit? Lay it in. Phoenix, I don't know about that. I think he just he wants the Klingons to respect him, and he thinks by enforcing the law against them and showing them that he has authority that they'll respect him.
I'm the boss. I'm glad you made it, Jan. Thanks for the info, Jan. Yeah, Liz, it was a lot.
It's one of the reasons, Liz, why this is not quite top tier for me as far as Deep Space Nine episodes. It is very talky. Here I am.
Oh, come on, admit it. You had fun. Or possibly very both.
Phoenix Nog is the president of the Space HOA. Oh no.
Dun, dun, dun.
Lizard people.
Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. That was your plan? Get her?
How are we going to defeat these guys? One of them killed Superman.
And don't you forget it.
Eddington and Cisco, they're cops.
Kara Hughes, why not both?
Well, the good news is they've been killed recently. The meat hasn't spoiled. We could eat them if necessary. Well, you can cry about it later.
That's you, a big failure. So exciting.
Maybe that's why you guys lost, because you forgot that they could do that.
Whoopsies.
Boy, Star Trek doors are so easy to open. So not only did you betray me, you've been dating?
He's been a busy lad.
Touche. Yeah, baby! Eat Cisco! I think the fact that Eddington appears to seriously believe he could take Cisco in a fight is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a Star Trek show.
It's like, I pinch really hard.
Like, even the other Maquis are like, dude, don't. Just don't. Oh, thank you, James.
In fairness, you know, she says, we don't have time for this. And Cisco's over here thinking, oh no, it won't take long.
It won't take long. You don't have 5 seconds? Snake Big Cat, I like that. Me, Captain Fisto. Well, except that time you gave up when I arrested you. Remember that,
There's that.
Eddington? When you gave up? Good to have you, exciting worldview
Don't
points.
look back.
Oh, that one got me.
I'll buy you time.
It's your lucky day. Blaze of glory. Blaze of glory. Blaze of glory. Call me young gun.
Dun, dun, dun.
David C. Drake. Yeah, there you go. So you're single, huh? I echolocated it with my ears.
RESPECT. From a certain point of view.
What's more romantic than being gunned down by a squad of enemy soldiers?
I can say that now that he's dead.
Now that I've won. No, I don't think it really makes a difference. The show is pivoting away from the Maquis stuff. The end.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, thoughts?
The rants got long. Like when they were ranting at each other.
Yeah.
I was just like, okie dokie. Da 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 da.
The scenes on the shuttlecraft, the runabout, where they're kind of, I mean, I do like that. I like the little reversal where at first Cisco uses the threat of the enemy ship to get Eddington to cooperate, but then Eddington turns it around and uses the same threat to get Cisco to do what he wants him to do. Like, I thought that was nice, but yeah, there's that section is really talky.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just saying, and they're just kind of saying things out loud. Like, there's not a lot of subtlety. They're just sort of, you know, declaring their opinions in a really straightforward way. It's not super dramatic, you know?
Yeah. There's you know, it doesn't move anything about them forward, and it doesn't move the story forward. They're just arguing like they've done before. It's more of the same. I feel like what they were trying to do with Nog was showing that he was looking for something small to nail them on so that he wouldn't have to make a big deal about it.
You think?
I kind of feel like yes, because he specifically, like, he's looking for, you know, he's waiting for them to cross just a little bit of a line, you know, because he wants to do what he did, is just be able to look them, and that way, if it doesn't go his way, then it's not really a big deal. If one of them killed somebody and he tried to take him in and he couldn't, then there's a real actual problem, you know?
Yeah, now you've just let a Klingon get away with murder.
So
yeah.
And the other thing is it definitely made me think of you know, my own policy on classroom management, which is you gotta squelch it before it escalates. You know, and now I will say the way he goes about it is different from the way I would go about it, which is just, hey, you know what you need to be doing, or what are you supposed to be doing right now? Okay, you know, great, go ahead and do it.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. 255 AD says Eddington complains about the jail's humane rehabilitation programs. My headcanon is it genuinely annoys him that they won't beat him or throw him in the hole, because that'd be more dramatic. Well, and maybe not just more dramatic, but like it would give him a moral high ground on the Federation, which is something that he very clearly wants you know, at every point that he can find it. Like he wants to, I mean, that's what that whole thing talking to Cisco on the ship was about, you know, oh, I grow my own vegetables and I don't eat replicated food. I eat food I made with my hands. And, you know, he's asserting the superiority of his lifestyle and his worldview. And if he could have also said, oh, and your supposedly humane Starfleet prisons, why they beat me every day and they starved me and tortured, like, you know, if he could say that, then imagine, you know, how morally superior he would feel. So yeah, he would enjoy that more than is healthy.
25580, yeah, exactly. I felt like that's what they were going for, and he just came off as annoying. Like he comes off as kind of a tattletale.
Well, and also, I mean, I think it's decently well executed, but it really plays like, okay, we need a B plot for this episode. Nog hasn't done anything lately. Let's give Nog something to do. You know, like that's
Throw
how
him
it
a
feels.
bone.
Yeah. And again, like it's fine, but it's not like it doesn't, you know, set the world on fire. Okay,
it's the B plot, so you know, it's like you said, it's fine.
Yeah. You want to play some not Wordle?
Nope, I've had a very full day. So
okay.
Not only did I have, you know, juggling the brand new elective, which like went well. We watched the Buffy episode The Pact today, and I asked them to focus on, you know, how creators give clues about something, you know, about what's going to happen. I said specifically focus on visual cues that things are not normal, or clues that things are not normal. I said, now, when we read The Monkey's Paw, we looked for clues in the text, but this is a different medium. Some of the clues will be textual in the dialogue, but we don't have like descriptive text. So watch things and see what you notice. And they picked up on some good cues. So I was really proud of them. So anyhow, so this week, do not forget, Friday, 6 p.m., same general time, Steve will be on here answering questions from patrons and channel members. And if you are a patron or channel member, then and you haven't turned in your question already, I mean, TikTok me.
TikTok everybody else.
If I had a mirror, I would look into it. But I mean, I guess I can look into, the Zoom screen.
Oh, is that Romper Room?
I think so, but yeah, no, the idea is, I'm saying it to myself. Like
you're saying it to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she looked through the magic mirror and would say, I see so-and-so and so-and-so. And so, yeah, if you're one of the people like me with, a less common name, you never hear your name called.
She never said, I see Dana?
Nope. I bet she said, I see Steve.
She probably, I can't remember. I used to watch Romper Room. I can't remember specifically if she did or not, but she probably did. It's a very common name.
Well, in fairness, though, I didn't get to watch all that often because, as you know, I didn't have TV growing up. It was very rare. So, I mean, she might have said it, and it was just on one of the days when I didn't get to watch. But, yeah, never.
You couldn't claim it. You couldn't claim it.
Exactly. So, yes, if you are a channel member or a patron, one of those things, please send in your ask. You can check in your email, and if not, you should. There's a little button down here. You can press that, or you can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives and help Steve's work, support his art.
That's right. Yes.
And even if not, make sure that you have clicked subscribe and join us on Friday. We'll chit chat in the chat while Steve is going off about whatever. And after he gets done with the patron and member questions, he will chit chat with us. It's all just nice, casual fun. Don't forget, also, next week, same time, we'll be back here again, and we will be watching Poirot. So what episode are we watching next week?
Next week is The Yellow Iris.
Doesn't ring a bell. So I'll be going in cold. I mean, I have seen these, but it's been a while, and I'm more familiar with the written works.
You've read a lot of the original stories,
It's fun. And then, of course, last but not least, do not forget about opportunities to be helpful financially. We've got some organizations linked down in the description, and also TurtleLinks.page, which is a file that has the GoFundMe's and other opportunities to support some friends and associates of ours who could use some financial help, because helping people is good.
And I believe that's it.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode and the chit chat. And good night.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you Friday, and then we'll see you back here together next Wednesday. Bye-bye.